So this is from a dear friend, a very special person requested uh, to talk about this subject, and I think it's important. Father Martin talked about this a long time ago. I guess everything he talked about was a long time ago. Um, this idea that the patient uh, slow down. Started drinking matcha, doing me doing me well. Um, the identified patient, the person with the illness, gets all this help, all this treatment. They get the intervention, they get to go to therapy, they get to go to rehab. Family's elated, right? Well, then the family's left to sit with everything that was left behind. And no matter how much a treatment center relays to the family, a family can never know what is really going on in treatment because so much happens in treatment. And it's the little things. It's the relationship with the therapist, it's the relationship with the other community members, it's the little interactions, it's the getting better, it's the coming to clarity, it's the acknowledgement of the records of the past. Um, a lot of it is this idea where no one is distracted by anything. In most treatment centers, there's you don't have your phones on you all the time. You don't have your job. There's not all these distractions, so you're able to be surrounded by people that are going through what you're going through as you're going through it in these different times, and you have their undivided attention. And it's very rare nowadays because we're always, looking at something, distracted by something. And so there's this connection that I think we're longing for. And so the person with the illness, the person that perhaps has created all this chaos and pain and turmoil, gets swept up and taken to this place and cared for. And they get taken care of and they get all this expertise and all this. And the family is so thankful for a moment. And then they start to get concerned of, well, what's happening? Will this last? Are they going to stay? What's going on there? As time progresses, why aren't I hearing anything? What's my involvement here? Um, don't they need my information? I need a break. Or, like, look at what I'm left with. Like, look at what I'm left with. Oftentimes, it's akin to someone leaving in the middle of a house burning down. And as the house is burning, the patient swept away, and the family member is left as the smoldering ash pile is coming down, and you're left there to clean up the rubble and to sift through to say, well, what's left? What is here? What do we have? What's gone? What can we save? Now, as that's happening from time to time, you'll hear from your loved one in treatment, and I worked for a long time in treatment, and one of the things I would say is please, 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 when you call home, just ask how they're doing. Just ask how they're doing. Whatever you do, do not just call home and write and read your list of what you need, because the self-centeredness of the illness does not stop just because someone enters treatment. The person entering treatment feels like, look at what I'm doing. This is a really big deal. And it is. I'm admitting that I've taken on my illness and I'm going to surrender here, and I'm giving this up, and I'm letting go, and I'm going to walk into wellness and recovery. And at home, I bet they're planning something big. I bet they're getting their confetti ready. I bet they're planning a parade for me. I bet this is going to be big for me. No, no. At home, they're wondering, you know, where's the checking? Where's the checkbook? What is this now? Where's the car? He did what to who? With where? You're kidding. So there's this confusion and all these opportunities and these misconnections, and so these phone calls are just ripe for awfulness, because on one hand you get the person in treatment who's calling home, and for the first time in their life they might feel good. They're surrounded by people who hear them and support them and listen. And by the way, there's a lot of humor in treatment. So they're laughing. Can you imagine? They're laughing. And they've made these fast friends. And so they're calling from this frat house of a treatment center to this home that you've been left with. And I mean, these are different worlds speaking now, different worlds. And no wonder that now there's tension on the line. There's tension. On one hand, the person home feels responsible, perhaps. I don't want to assume, but may feel responsible. I don't want to mess up this thing, this recovery. Also, it sounds like, are they on vacation? This sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like they're, what about, oh, okay, let me write down all the things you want me to send you and bring. And, oh, who's Billy? Oh, that sounds great. Okay, cigarettes, snuff, okay, linens, okay, got it, okay, no, me, what about me? You didn't ask? Okay, bye. And the person treatment is off to, and the person in treatment may be saying, what a great phone call I just had. Really supportive back home. Yeah. Just was really supportive. I mean, it's just a different communication style, okay? So, and it's just a setup. It's a setup, and for some reason, for most places, we just haven't gotten this connection where we treat the family and the person with the illness. We just treat the identified patient and act as if the family is just, nah, you'll be fine. The person's getting all this help. Behind the scenes, the family may be fearing, well, what happens with me? Like, is this person going to hear that we're the problem? That that they don't need us anymore, or they can't be with us anymore? Are they going to hear that we're people, places, and things? Are they going to hear that we're triggers? Are they going to get better and sober and realize with clear eyes that they don't want me anymore? There's a lot of fear from the family and a lot of confusion and unanswered questions. And the same thing from the patient. Same thing, just completely different questions. And so it's kind of the setup that is all unresolved now. Best case is that there's communication with the treatment center, and the family can speak with the therapist or someone there and know what's going on. But you can never really know what's going on in treatment because it's the nuances, right? It's the little conversations on walks. You just can't know. You just can't know. It's not for you to know. Um, and but there is communication. There's back and forth. But one of the biggest steps that I think we miss is coming home. And it's this huge step. And we even call it graduation and this wonderful thing, but it's we lose back in the day when I worked at a place, the number was 50%. 50% didn't go to their outpatient appointment after inpatient treatment. 50%. That's a big number, 50%. So the idea of this disconnect between treatment and home, I think, I'm sorry, love bug. I think needs to be discussed here for a second, and just I just want to think about it in context here, if we could. So we have the home, right? We have the people at home. Don't get caught up in the how good of an artist I am, right? So that's home, obviously, right? That's what a house looks like. That's going to be smoke. All right, whatever. That's your driveway. Look, I didn't build the house. Um, and then this is rehab. Okay. I didn't pick the place, you did. That's rehab. Okay. So now we have the person coming out from treatment and going home. And this is so important because what can happen is just this huge disconnect here. The person coming from treatment can think, "Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm home. Let's all get together and celebrate me because look what I've done." And the people at home are thinking, um, like you just left. You just left 28 days ago. And when you left, like there's holes in the wall that we haven't patched up yet. And um, there's fires we haven't put out yet. There's feelings we haven't talked about yet. Like nothing's changed. And so there can be this huge disconnect to where one party is looking for a parade and another party is looking for something completely different, somebody looking to be very contrite. And so I think it best that we prepare ourselves when someone's coming home to 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 think about your role. What do you want your role to be? Are you a mother? Are you a father? Are you a sister? Are you a spouse? You're a child? You're a parent? What would you like it to be? Be that role, maintain that role, live in that role, and work within the parameters of that role and explore that role. Where a lot of folks get into trouble is when they step outside of these roles. Okay. And for instance, when a family starts to become the police or the therapist or an investigator or a lab, right? So let's take the idea of, well, you'll come home and we're going to drug test you. For what? What's the outcome for that? It's never going to go well. If I'm using, you know, if you give me a drug test, I'm going to deny. I'm going to say that's a false positive. I'm just going to lie. And now we're in a fight. And you're ill equipped. And you're out of your role. Because now you're a lab and you're an investigator and you're a therapist. And we're not. So we want to leave that to the people who do that because they do it very well. And I don't want to leave my role. So I can be supportive, I can be understanding, but if I want my loved one tested, I can set that up. I can call LabCorp or Quest and I can set up random testing. I can get the therapist to do that. Say, I don't want anything to do with that, get that done. Outpatient, get that done. I don't want anything to do with that. And I shouldn't. It's not my role. This other idea of well, they don't understand and they have to understand what I'm going through in order to be supportive. That's nonsense. The people with the illness often don't understand why we do what we do. So certainly the people without the illness don't understand why you do what you do. But I don't have to completely know what you're doing in order to love you and support you through. I can just be with you. I can exist with you. What's really important here is that when I get out of treatment, my recovery is my responsibility, it's not yours. You're not going to break me. I'm not a fragile flower. And I may act like I am. That's manipulation. My triggers are my responsibilities. My recovery is my responsibilities. You're allowed to feel how you want to feel. You have a right to that. The hurt I've caused you, I can't heal for you. And I'm sorry for that. I really am. I wish I could. If I could, I would. I truly would. But those are your wounds now. And like any other wound, you have to patch them up yourself. And I can help you with that. I'd love to help you with that. There's support groups, there's Al-Anon, we can go to couples counseling or whatever the roles entail. But doing it together we're going to have a much better shot than just expecting the other one to understand what it is we're going through. Open communication, vulnerability, rather than assuming the other knows what it is I want, I find is key to this. Just talk. Say what it is you're looking for. Express your needs. You're not alone. Everyone's gone through this who has been through this. It is not easy. It is not easy to go through. No step of this is easy. None of it. But it is very, very doable. And on the other side, it's 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 really great. It really is great. So I wish you the best of luck.